What is happening everywhere? State of the game, state of the industry? Maybe that's probably a little strong. But what the frustrations, I'm here to talk a whole bunch of this stuff. I don't want to, this isn't a complaining video. This is a state of affairs, hopefully discuss everything that we kind of have a problem with the game at the moment. Potential solutions. This video could be 6 hours long. I'm going to try to really minimize it. But the point of this is that, you know, a lot of people are shifting other games and potentially quitting this game because of a lot of the stuff that's being discussed or happening in game. I want to talk about that a little bit. I want to talk about the things that I think are the biggest problems, some potential solutions to it, and what do we do to try to actually improve this? Is it possible that Foxnex could listen to us? You know, there's people who go, boycott spending, don't play this, just quit, go play Dragon Champions. You know, and that's part of where this is coming from, is that, you know, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, there is a gigantic exodus leaving that game. I don't play that game, but from my understanding is the player base is just finally just fed up. They're just sick of it. There's so many things happening in that game that they just don't like anymore. And again, I don't play it, so I don't know them all. And a lot of them are going to this game called Dragon's Champions, which I've tried out. You know, and I'll save those thoughts for, you know, dropping here and there. I'm still really early in the game, but I'm definitely checking out. And yeah, a lot of people in Marvel Strike Force are talking about, including in my alliance and others, like there are some, you know, big time names that I've heard of that are either stepping away or thinking about stepping away, or even, you know, the giant whales are going, if certain things don't improve, or if certain things get introduced a certain way, they're like, I'm out. And so it's like, is this game ready to break? Is it breaking? Is it about to fall, you know, on its face? My quick answer to that is no. But, you know, I do think it's a pivotal point. There's other games out there that are clearly doing things to try to lure people in. But meanwhile, Marvel Strike Force has, in my opinion, the strongest IP out there. But eventually people are only going to get beaten down so much. So anyway, I'm going to go through some of these things. These things being, you know, problems I think are the game, frustrations that are in the game, and you guys, the thing I want to hear from you is, what did I miss? Do you agree with me? And are these just complaints? Deal with it. The game's fine. Shut up. Or is there something that you really think Foxnex needs to improve? And I don't want this just to be a complaining session. I want it to be this is a problem I think's there. You know, this is why I think that's a problem, and, you know, maybe potential solution. So that's generally speaking how I'm going to approach the video. So anyway, having said that, link below, click it. If you go to that video, like it as soon as it gets to 500 likes, and it's within like 60, I think. It's almost at the 500 likes. There's a $50 giveaway. To enter said giveaway, comment on that video, not this one, that video, and say Disney or Sony. Just write that. Don't even worry about why. You'll be entered, and that's it. And then I'll do a drawing for it, hopefully here in the next week or so. Because we're getting super close, so I'm excited about that. So anyway, having said that, let's get to it.
Bring me WolverThor!
Okay, so before I get into the big list, I do want you guys to know I do have a Discord. If you want, the link's below. Go click join it. I have a channel over here to the side that's called Top Desired Changes or Fixes channel, where I basically post everything that I think are fixes that could be in the game. You know, there's some top ones here, and there's some, you know, kind of medium ones, and then stuff that gets resolved. So I always kind of keep a running list of these things. And obviously, clearly, why isn't Squirrel Girl in the game yet? Let's fix it. You know, there's some stuff in there I throw in there for some humor, etc. But you get the idea. So I'm not going to read off these because they're on my Discord, but I did want to share with you that they're there. I do have a Discord. Feel free to come chat, etc. I'm not going to just like tag you every 10 minutes to try to, you know, get you to chat on things. I'll tag you every once in a while for sure if I've got a video out, live streaming, or if there's a topic I really want to discuss. But you know, it's just kind of a spot I'm trying to form a little community at, so feel free to stop by. So let's jump over to my list of things that are, I think, at the top right now that I think FoxNext really needs to consider, and a lot of it's kind of focused on the RNG aspects of the game. So first up, and to me, I think you can never ever you know, kind of downplay this one. It's going to be around forever. It's, you know, all the content creators did a number of content creators did a collaboration video way back in the day on this, is Red Stars. Again, you could talk about this problem for 5 hours, on and on and on and on and on and on. To me, I think some of the biggest problem with this is related to RNG, just and the percentage drop rates. You know, you always get 1 and 2 star, and look, the percentages, to be fair to FoxNext, the percentages are listed, so we know what they are. So when you buy in an offer, when you open one of those, you know what you're getting there. So and I don't blame FoxNext for that. That's on us. You know, they're telling us, hey, you know, you've got a minimal chance to do this. It's our decision to, you know, buy it or open it or whatever. But having said that, the amount of duplicates that pop up in those things is brutal. And the part that makes it even worse is that, you know, it takes you, say, weeks to get an elite 4 orb, and you get that, and say you get a duplicate or a bad drop, okay, and it's frustrating. But the duplicate part is even more frustrating, and then you get, you know, I think it's 900 tickets, which is like, you know, not even a fifth of what you need to open another one. You know, it's like, oh my God, I just spent the last 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 2 weeks, whatever it took to get there, and now I'm like back at ground zero. And that's, you know, the Ultimus orb feels that way, but this feels like so much worse, because the Red Stars play so much into this game as far as, you know, the content for you to get farther, an arena to compete. You need to be able to do it, you know, you need to be able to have them to compete. So for this one, I've got a couple potentially, you know, solutions. And, you know, the thing, and actually before I say that, the thing that bothers me a little bit about this is that I recall back in the day, FoxNext said they wouldn't tune content for Red Stars. They clearly do. And frankly, at this point, I don't have a problem with the fact they do it. They need to, because it's a critical dynamic of the game. But give us the ability to actually focus farm them a little bit, or get them a little bit easier. So part of the solution that I'm presenting is that after a certain number of openings, you're basically guaranteed a good drop. You know, whether that's, you know, a 5-star more, or, you know, they give you 500 promotion credits to say, you know, you can get, whenever a tune pops up in the Elite store, you can use those promotion credits. That's fantastic. So now, if you just guarantee yourself this good drop, I think a lot of people will be like, you know what, I know I'm eventually going to get something good, you know, and be happy with it. So, you know, there's plenty of people out there that are just grinding this thing never to get a good drop, or constant duplicates, and it's wearing on them. So, you know, and like I mentioned, the Elite Reds duplicates, it's just so frustrating. And, you know, there is a conspiracy theory out there that says, you know, if you're free to play or newer, you seem to be more likely to get 6 or 7 Red Star drops. I see this a lot. I have no real good data behind it other than a feeling. But I'll admit that I might have ordered my tinfoil hat online. So, I don't know. You know, again, if you think about it from a truly conspiracy theory point of view, FoxNext does need these newer players to feel like they can catch up. The veterans, people who've been around for a while, it's like, well, they're more than likely going to keep playing, but if somebody feels like they can never catch you, then they're just going to quit. So, but I think there's a better way if that's, you know. So anyway, that's what I have to say about the Red Stars. I've been harping on these things forever, and I'm not convinced that they're necessarily going to change, but I just wanted to put that in there because I do think that it's one of the biggest problems out there. Next up is kind of these generally character event raid orbs. The RNG behind this is just, you know, you get an orb, it's the RNG of who you're going to get, and then how many shards you're going to get for it. You know, sticking with the character orbs for a second, and this event orb, you know, Ghost Rider, you know, how many people are actually going to unlock him based on those orbs, even your Blitzen hard? You know, I think there should be a guaranteed drop for Ghost Rider within each orb. Even if it's 2 off to the, you know, right pillar, you just get 2 every time. So at least you're guaranteed 2, and then maybe you get more, great. but you're not, I mean, you're not stuck thinking if you're going to unlock them or not. So I find that pretty frustrating. You know, I think they're doing a better job with the raid orbs, so I don't want to pick apart that too much. But if I was to improve the raid orbs a little bit, I do think that, you know, in the at least 60 to 100% of the hardest Greek raid, you know, alpha, beta, gamma, 4, that 60 and 100% of those should be more limited in who's in those orbs. Maybe call it an elite raid orb, where it's, you know, more rare tunes. So in this concept of elite raid orbs, you know, in the 60 and 100%, maybe it's more like Psylocke, Colossus type, you know, tunes that are not super farmable but really highly desired. You know, and maybe you could leave some of the other ones in there, but not, you know, at a lower percentage where, you know the folks that are farming and getting that 60 and 100% in the Greek raids, you know, are looking to get Colossus maxed out, to get Psylocke maxed out, to, you know, maybe get lucky and get, you know, a couple shards of a newer character that just got introduced to the game, you know, a Ghost Rider or something like that. So I just think that for endgame players, those should be tweaked a little bit. Next up is this supply store orange uniques. So, and I'm meaning what are being termed the mini uniques, the ones that you need like 75 of just to get like one piece of gear, or a tune up. Look, right now they almost never show up in the shop, and that's the only spot they show up. These things should immediately be put in all of the, whatever orange orbs are in the game, the elites and the regulars, they should have every piece of orange gear in them. I don't understand why it's not, you know, and like, you can decide maybe the elites are more likely to, you know, give you a true unique, but these other ones that you need so many of, like, at least give it a drop rate in one of these orange orbs. You know, it's just impossible. And again, I know that's RNG, but it's better than 0. You know, I know people shouldn't be refreshing the supply store to try to get these things. So, you know, that, again, you know, that's, you might not be worried too much about it, but it's like, you keep adding these things to the pile more and more and more. So it's kind of like, okay, all right, there's that. And then kind of a long-standing one that people, this one personally, I have to admit, doesn't bother me as much. I don't know if it's because I've been lucky to get decent shard drop rates, but the joke is 2 times 0 is still 0. So when you get these double drops and you don't get anything, it's like, oh my god. So again, that one, I'm not sure I have a real good solution to fix that, because frankly I think it's not terrible. It's tough, and the game needs to have some difficult aspects to it, because if it's too easy, then we're not going to play, we're not going to stick around. So it does need to be hard. So this might be one that if someone really pushed me on it, I'd be like, sorry, I don't really think anything needs to be changed here, but I have heard it enough times that I think that it's worth mentioning. And then gold. Good, I love gold. Who doesn't love gold? But guess what? It's the biggest bottleneck in the game. And again, before I go on, I'm okay with that. There should be bottlenecks. Gold is by far the biggest, but also needed the most throughout. So I do think that they need to loosen up on how tight that bottleneck is. I mean, first you start off with the gold orbs, and you're likely to get 130,000 gold in one of those drops. That does absolutely nothing for you as an endgame player. Nothing at all. And how many gold orbs do you get in a week? You know, a few. So, you know, and obviously there's a lot of other ways to get gold in the game, but it just, it doesn't, even if, let's say you get a yellow drop, say you get 1,000,000 gold, which is super rare. It's like a 1% chance. That, I guarantee, is gone like that. The only reason any of us had all this gold stashed up for so long is because we built up like 20-ish million because we bought all those offers due to the screw up that a bunch of people bought, so they had to offer everyone else all this gold. So all of us saved up all this gold for different things, mainly for a Coulson type milestone, and most people spent that. So now I know, and many others, I'm down to like struggling between, you know, 40k and maybe 700k, and it's kind of like, well, I can't bring many tunes up, I can't T4 things, you know, now there's 2 new characters in the game, there's 4 more coming. Meanwhile, I can't even, you know, get my power armor to level 71 because I don't have enough gold. You know, I can't rank up, you know, a certain, I've had Carnage at 7-star, the ability to 7-star him for probably 5 months, and I haven't put the gold in it because I can't afford it. It's like, okay. So now again, I'm all about resource management, but I'm kind of like, okay, I mean, at some point I should be able to really upgrade a lot of my older tunes, and even power armor. It's like, why can't I have those at 71 at this point in the game? So I don't know. It just, again, the bottleneck feels tight, and the offers that are out there in the store, it's just, they're so, and look, I bought them. They're so bad. They just go so quickly. You can spend $30, get maybe 1 million gold, or get 1 million gold, I think is the minimum, and it's gone in like a second. And you look at your team, it's like, I didn't really do anything. Like, what did I do? I didn't increase much at all. So anyway, a lot of complaining with this one, because I do think it is probably one of the biggest frustrations outside of Red Stars. So I think it deserves that attention. So anyway, my solution personally for the gold bottleneck to loosen a little bit, and it could be a number of these different things, but increase the drops, or the amount that get dropped in gold orbs. Another thing is that you could put gold orbs into the Ultimate 7 rewards, because frankly, that needs to be boosted too. And I'm not really touching on that too much, but golds, or the Ultimate 7 rewards, are bad. So throw a gold orb in there for 30%. Throw 2 to 3 gold orbs in there for 60%. Throw 3 to 4 gold orbs in there for 100%. Is that a lot of gold orbs? Yeah, okay. So maybe you don't increase the amount each one drops, but depending what you do, I'm just giving a multiple to solutions. I'm not saying implement all these, but that's a good way to people like, oh, okay, Ultimate 7 maybe is worth a little bit more. Up to T4 some, so you can get more than, one upgrade every 2 months or whatever it is. Have it so you're like, I can get an upgrade every 2 weeks if I have the gold, which seems reasonable. If you do, enough Ultimate 7 that you get an upgrade every 2 weeks, given the amount of tunes that are in the game and gonna be eventually in the game, that seems reasonable. You need to be able to keep pace with the game, and then if you want to be even higher, maybe get an offer here and there, or grind out something. So, and then the other thing is more frequency of payday. That's the obvious one, but it's just like, man, that thing is just, it's never here. So why not just have that thing more often? One of the things that kind of adds to this is that I'll call it battle RNG. Again, this is maybe tinfoil hat to an extent, but the idea that when you fight a Spider-Man, that Spider-Man dodges 4 times easy. And when you're using Spider-Man on, say, your brawlers, he's always the first one to die every single time. And you're lucky to get 1 dodge in 5 matches. Just seems kind of like, it's odd. And again, Fox Next is kind of, I think they've even said this, is that they make some of these battles harder. But when you're doing it in, say, like Arena or Blitz or War, it's like, okay, I get it in a raid, where it's like they're trying to make it harder, but when you're doing a PvP situation and you're already punching up like 90 to 100k and Spider-Man dodges nonstop, it's kind of like, oh my god. So when you add that to this list of other things that we're talking about, it's tough. It's hard to swallow. So again, that is maybe tinfoil hatty, but it's something that people talk about enough where it's kind of like, all right, and even in War, I feel like if a room doesn't have, the adjacent engineering buff with the defense up, but they have, deflects or something like that, it just seems like it's resisted nonstop. And it's just like, oh my gosh. No, don't get me wrong, I love more War defense because frankly the meta is offense and just get it done as quickly as you can, and that's, a bit frustrating. But, when you constantly have that happen on top of these other things, it gets hard. So, and then people are fearful of things that are coming in the future. We don't know what they're going to be. Who knows what's going to happen, ISO 8s, etc. But people get concerned based on what they've seen in other games. So I get that, people are frustrated. So, there's gold, the red stars, offers tend to be, pretty bad. Greek raids, they get more difficult with time, but you can't really improve your squad because you can't focus farm red stars. It gets to be hard, and then Alt 7 comes out, it's crazy difficult, which I'm actually okay with the difficulty, but the rewards are bad. So it's like, oh my gosh, so people are just like, and then on top of that, you add the time you need to play the game. War 3 times a week, make it 2 and double the rewards, please. And it's just kind of like, oh my gosh. And then you add all these RNG things I'm talking about. And it's, oh yeah, we haven't even talked about Blitz. So again, I hate to be a Debbie Downer. I like the game. I think the game's fun. But I really want to kind of like just take this time, given some things that are happening in other games, exoduses, etc., that, are driving people to, leave those games and think like, want to play them anymore. I'm going to play this game that I don't know anything about the lore or anything, and you know, just I like it because I get some stuff. So anyway, let's wrap this thing up and see what our final thoughts are. So I don't know. Am I on drugs? Am I crazy? You know, am I complaining too much? Is everyone complaining too much? Should we just be happy with what we got? I don't know. You guys tell me. Make a comment below. Hammer down on the like button. Notification bell. Share with your friends. I want to, you know, come join the Discord and chat with me about this. I want to hear. I want to share it with Fox next. I want to talk to them about it. I think they care about this game. I know they want this game to stick around. I do too. So let's see if they'll actually listen to some of these things and go from there. So thanks for stopping by.